You know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. When you're in a foreign land, you're on your own, no. You can't just be doing anyhow, no maini. If there has to be like perfect people in that foreign land, you need to come up. Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Geraldine Ngibu Djetkeu. Nyam amugela sanbonani ninjani libitolaka. Yes, darling, you finished it. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe. If you're old, thank you so much for coming back. And to all 700 of you, oh guys, I cannot say much. All I can say is thank you. Nyabonga. Thank you guys so much. But thank you all so much for subscribing. Merci beaucoup to all the French speaking people. Thank you guys so much. I'm super grateful. I'm super happy. I mean, when I saw all 7 of you, I was pushed to come and say I need to create content for you guys. I need to do a sit down and just address you all. I'm super grateful. This is the first sit down video. Is it the first or the second? This is my second sit down video. If you've noticed, I haven't been here for a very long time. That's because I was going through it. But today, we're talking all about it, my darlings. Please subscribe, put on your post notifications so that you will be notified whenever I upload a video. Okay, to all the new people, on this channel we talk about God, because I'm a Christian like that. We talk about life in South Africa, because I'm foreign like that. And we talk about adulting. If you're interested in such a content, please subscribe to the channel. And tell me what you think about today's content in the comment section. Alright, darlings. So I haven't had a video in a long time. I'm not gonna say, oh guys, I'm so sorry that I've been gone, because niyawazi ukuthi ngizophinda futhi ngizoyenza guys, because impilo ayikho lula, kunzima ube adult guys. Yo waiting ubuhlungu inhliziyo yami ubuhlungu. But anyhow, let's talk about today. Today's video, it's all about the challenges that I've experienced in South Africa. Now, FYI, I know some of you be like, oh, but what do you expect coming to another man's country and all like that? Yes, no doubt, when you go to a new place, and worse if it's not your country, obviously things will not be easy, you know. And also, like someone said, life is not fair. To everybody, life is unfair, you know. So when you're foreign, it's most unfair. You understand? So I'm not putting this video out for some pizza story or for whatever, but I'm just saying my challenges. Maybe someone out there who's also foreign in South Africa can relate to it, or someone foreign in another country can relate to it. But hey, I said let's talk about it, let's discuss about it, because yay, my mental health was in ramshackling. Yo, but booyah guys, but I'm super grateful for family, for friends who have stood by me and who have been here by me. So nonetheless, let's get into the challenges that I've encountered as a foreigner in South Africa. Also, another thing guys, please note, sometimes when I say South Africans, I don't mean all South Africans. That's most of the people who I've encountered, the people in my circle, South Africans in my circle. So I'm not saying every South African is the way I'm going to talk about them, you know. Some of them are like that. You get to meet the good people, you get to meet the nice people, you get to meet the nasty people. I mean, it's all circle of people that you meet in here, you understand, as South Africans. So my number one challenge definitely was people being up in your business. Guys, I know in my previous video, South Africans, they don't like to mind people's business. Like, if you're getting robbed, nobody like really looks out for you. And that's because too, like, it's really scary. Like, you could end up trying to help somebody and then you end up losing your life in the process. So South Africans, if something bad is happening to you, people hardly get involved. But South Africans, bathanda indaba zabantu. When I'm saying they like people's things, it's like, or people's issues, it's like when it comes to gossip. Yeah, you know when they say gossip? In this country, everybody will gossip about you, for you, because of you. Like, the gossiping is just too much. People being in your business is just too much. Right, where I come from in Cameroon, right? I could literally meet a person and be like, hi, my name is Geraldine and whatever, and I go my way, right? In South Africa, somebody can ask you your age, ask you if you've got a job, ask you if you've got a child, ask you if you're married, and if you're married, how many kids do you have? And if you don't have kids, why don't you have kids? And if you're not married, why are you not married? If you have a boyfriend, is your boyfriend driving? What car is your boyfriend driving? Are you in a relationship? Like, you would literally just meet somebody for the very first time and it's like, you're all up in my business. Like, cool down, like, relax. So that was a challenge for me, reasonably because for me, I'm not used to talking to people like that, except you're very close to me. Then I can tell you if I'm married or if I've got a child, if I don't have a child, or my age, or what car I drive, or if I've got whatever, you know, because I feel like some things are very personal, you know. So it was a challenge to me because sometimes when people ask me, I'll just be like, sorry, I can't talk about it, or I don't want to talk about it. Then you get to be perceived as you're very secretive. It's like, oh, you keep secrets, you're very secretive, you don't want to tell us about maybe your boyfriend, but in my head, like, some things are private. It's so bad to a point where some people even want to know your financial status, like how much do you have in the bank. It's like, hey, yay, le mali eyam, it's my money, please calm down. I phone you when I lend you imali, please ungazingeni. But you know, but I'll be like, oh no, I can't tell you how much I've got in my account, or I can't tell you how much I'm earning. I'll be like, oh, you're secretive. So that was a huge challenge to me, where yes, I'm secretive, but I'm not as secretive as you make it look, you know. It's just because some things are private. There's a difference between being private and being secret. Like some things like iPhone wena, some things like ubene limit, ubene boundary. Like, guys, I don't know how much I can say this. And because of that, I had to lose like friendships and all of those things because I thought, oh, Geraldine is too secretive and things like that. So that was a challenge for me. Number 2 will definitely have to be boundaries. Guys, in South Africa, oh my God, you need to have boundaries. You understand? Like, and having boundaries is a challenge because I come from a place where everybody knows their place, you know? We are was in the way, when this one you don't get involved. But in South Africa, you need to state your boundaries. You need to be loud and bold about yay. This thing, it's like this, I don't want it like that. Because even in South Africa, you don't have boundaries, guys. Oh my God. You would go like the waves of the ocean. You would just, don't you even dare to go with the flow. Like, because if you go with the flow in this country, impilo yako is emotion. Like, your life will just be haphazard, you know? Because in terms of like drinking, in terms of smoking, in terms of just partying, you know, if you don't have boundaries, people will disrespect the life out of you. So that was a thing for me as well. Like, creating boundaries was really hard because yeah, you need boundaries. So I come to a place where yeah, you need boundaries, but you don't need to voice out your boundaries. You don't need to voice out to know I'm a Christian and 1, 2, 3. For us in Cameroon, if I tell you I'm a Christian, that's a no further question. Don't ask me, do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? Here in South Africa, they'll interrogate your life. And it could make you feel like whatever you believe in is so wrong or is so stupid or like, so guys, having to create boundaries was a problem for me. Like, I'm just saying, the whole thing of being secretive and, you know, so because of that, I kind of lost like a lot of communication or friendship with people because establishing my boundaries was very hard for me. I didn't grow up establishing boundaries, but here in South Africa, it's something I had to learn. And also learning that it's okay to lose friends in the process. It's okay, it's life. Kibupilo. Number 3 thing that was a challenge to me in South Africa definitely was the whole thing of, I think I want to talk about discrimination, unfairness, and xenophobia all in one, right? I know the word xenophobia, it's a very scary word. It's a word that when you utter it, you need to be super careful. You need to be super cautious. And it's a thing where even when someone is xenophobic towards you, you can't even say it. Like, how do you come out and even say this person, you know? And it's a huge challenge. It's a big thing in terms of also discrimination and all of that. And it's not cool, you don't expect discrimination upon. Yes, we all know that life is unfair and all of those things. But my mind is also like, yes, life is unfair, but don't make my life more unfair, you know, because I'm coming from an unfair country. I'm coming to, it's more unfair, it's most unfair. So being a foreigner in another man's country, prepare yourself. Let your mental state let you know that unfairness, discrimination, and all of those things, they are a part of your life. Some days it's easy to absorb. You're like, okay, yeah, okay, I know I didn't get this job because I'm foreign, or okay, I didn't get this, or this thing didn't happen to me because I'm foreign. I've had a lot of situations, and I really don't want to talk about like the situations detailedly because it takes me back to like places where I've really fought hard to get myself out of, you know, mentally. And the whole discrimination, the whole unfairness, the whole thing of xenophobic. And you know what, this thing, ne? It's more painful. It hits you most when it's people close to you. When it's people that you thought, Kuri, okay, these are my friends, these are my G's, you know? You'll be my G for life. This is everything. You'll be like, okay, yeah, I know that if I've got to count people that I'm cool with as South Africans, these are the people. And later find out, Kuri, these people are the same people, like I'm saying in terms of gossiping, and the same people saying isn't Zimbi about you, like saying bad things about you and all of that. I have experienced xenophobia in my face, like, you know, where someone made a comment, and it's a crazy thing because it was someone in my very close circle. It was someone who I thought was a good friend. Because mind you guys, I'm that person that I didn't know the word acquaintance. I didn't know everybody was my friend. And somebody had to sit and say, Geraldine, but who is a friend? You need to define who a friend is. There are levels of friendship. There's acquaintance, there is just classmates, you need to have just colleagues, and then there are friends. And to me, I thought everybody was my friend. Like, if I would sit and gist with you and talk to you about my life, I mean, you're my friend, you know? And when those things happened, all the discrimination, the xenophobia, and all of those things happened to me, you know, it was a series of events, and I didn't take it serious until it was getting into my circle, and I was like, oh my God, I need to take a step back and evaluate my life. That was where I had to realize that there are friends, there are classmates, there are colleagues, there are acquaintances, and you need to be able to define all of those, because in this life, guys, people battle harder. I'm not talking about things of umjolo. I'm thinking of things like just basic friendships, like but anyhow, that's the one thing. So definitely be prepared that as a foreigner, life will never be fair for you. And I remember it even got me to a point where I was even Googling at one point where I was asking, but why is life so unfair? And there is this, is it Sadhu Guru? I don't know, Sadhu Guru, I'm sure I'm saying the name right. And he said one thing. He's like, life is always going to be unfair. Life will never be fair. Life is always going to be unfair. But you need to look inside of you and find out for yourself, do I want to have a fair life or do I want to have a fantastic life? Find out in yourself what can help you to get a fantastic life. And don't worry about life being unfair. In those moments when life is unfair, think within yourself that I'm trying to build a fantastic life, and what can I do to be able to build a fantastic life? And also another thing which I also saw on Twitter the other time, where somebody was like, even Jesus Christ, who came to this earth as holy, as perfect as he was, he saw shaky, he saw problems, life was so unfair to him. So why not? Who do you think you are that life is going to run smooth for you? There's nobody. Life is never going to run smooth for you. So just me encouraging anybody, like, if you think life is unfair, it's always going to be unfair. It is never. Even Jesus saw shaky. So why not, whatever you're going through, Kubega, just continue going through your unfair life. But most importantly, find out within yourself what you can do to make your life fantastic. Don't mourn and cry so much about, oh, life is unfair to me, people are discriminating against me, or people are wada. You're foreign. What do you expect? What were you expecting? That life is gonna be easy? Come on, duh. So that was my number 3 challenge. Hey guys, number 4, ne? I know a lot of you in the comment section, you're like, oh Geraldine, you've blended into the culture, you learn the culture and all of that. I'm a person where if I go to a space, I like to mix with the people, get to know them, communicate with them, you know, and just learn about the people basically. So being in South Africa, that was one thing I wanted to do or to learn, like get into the people and learn the language and all of that. But one thing I did come across was, one challenge I came across was the fact that the cultural difference, right? Now, the cultural difference was not so much of a problem, because when you would do something good, like I'm saying for my circle, or for example, the people I'm among, when I would do something which is like proper or like South Africanly proper, you get like hyped and all of that. But when you do something inappropriate, oh God, hey, child, they will come for you and tell you about how not the manners, hey, you can't talk to people like that, and washisha waktima. And there was a thing that I came across, right? In South Africa, there's something called swearing. Well, from where I come from, swearing, when you're swearing at somebody, is you're using inappropriate words for them. For example, us, we've got, I'm just saying, please, nobody should get offended. In Cameroon, for example, you tell people Yamami Mbombo, that's an offensive word. That's you swearing at them. I got to learn recently in South Africa, Guti, you being disrespectful is swearing. I was like, guys, are you all kidding me? Like, I do not understand how disrespect became to swearing. I feel like swearing is here. Disrespect is here, you know? Disrespect me, you can say, oh, you're ugly, or you can't, or whatever. Just a normal insult. Disrespect is very broad. Swearing is like you taking it to a whole different level where, hey, I can murder the life out of you when you swear at somebody, right? Now, simple scenario which I learned. Sorry, I'm not gonna swear at anybody, I'm not swearing. Please don't be offended. Now, mind you, I learned South African languages from watching soapies, right? And in soapies, you hear someone say, I futek, you understand? And when they translate, futek means get out, like, get out of here, I don't wanna see you or whatever, you know? Only for me to come out and realize that you can't say that to people in real life. Because when you tell someone futek, you are swearing at them. But I'm like, I understood that futek means get out, like, I don't wanna see you. They're like, no, but if you say futek, you're saying to dogs. So you can only say futek to dogs. And another scenario which I also had was, oh my god, that's the one, I think anybody who knows me is gonna laugh. Now, there was a scenario where there was a project that I was in charge of. So the project had a lot of pressure, you know, and then I called the people together and I'm like, hey guys, this thing comes with a lot of pressure, and you know, because of the pressure, I'm going to be pushed to the wall so hard that if you tell me something very little, I'll bounce back. And when I bounce back, don't be upset Kuri I bounce back, but just understand Kuri is the pressure. Hey guys, everywhere there was news of Jody said she would bounce back. You can't tell us you would bounce back at us. That was disrespectful. I was like, my god, guys, that was a basic scenario where I was just explaining myself. And to you all, it's like, I would bounce back. And I'm like, even if it has to be a thing where I would bounce back, I cannot beat anybody. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like the whole culture of swearing and disrespect, it's like, it's just too much. And when everything happened, like, it kind of put me back in my shell where I was like, I don't think I even want to speak South African languages anymore. I don't think I even want to say it, because now when you say it, you need to be super careful. You need to be very mindful of, okay, what I'm saying, is it respectful? Is it disrespectful? Is it appropriate? It's not appropriate? And you know, whatever. And some people are like, okay, no, but also the tone with which you say some things could come across as disrespect. And I'm like, yeah. So that's another challenge for me, like right now. It's like, yes, I would like to know yes, I know South African languages, but right now I'm pulled inside my shell where I'm super careful what I'm gonna say. Am I gonna be understood rightly, or am I gonna be misunderstood, or you know, things like that. Like trying to speak someone else's language is really hard, because you know, maybe think it's a language, but it's not a language to South Africans. So South Africans, it's a whole different thing, because it's not only about what you say, which is important, but also how you say it, which is important, you know. So I'm just like, yeah, that's another challenge for me. But I think, you know, I'm just saying, these are just the challenges that we are talking about. Definitely another thing about being foreign in South Africa is the fact that you have to work harder. Guys, oh my god, that's like, I'm talking all about pressure and hard work, you understand? When you're foreign in another man's country, I don't think it's okay for you to want to be lazy. It's okay for you to want to use shortcuts. It's okay for you to want to bypass the system. Or it's okay for you to do however you want. No, once you're in another man's country, you need to be the most upright person in that land. Like, if they're looking for perfect people in their country, you need to be a mom. So that pressure alone, it's really hard. It's really hard, because you know, I go to, okay, am I at the right place? Am I at the right place at the right time? Am I doing things properly? You know? So being foreign, it comes with a lot of pressure. It comes with a lot. I remember when I started university, my very first year, my uncle was like, you need to understand that because you're foreign, you need to work more harder. Some of these things you must have studied them already in Cameroon. No doubt, guys, when I left Cameroon, at advanced level, I did further mathematics, right? So things like integration, differentiation, I knew about those things already, right? But some things in my course, they were completely new to me. Things like drawing. Drawing almost murdered the life out of me. Even physics was a very applied, mechanics, thermodynamics, all of those things, they were very hard. Organic chemistry, yes, I knew about it in high school, but yeah, in SA it was a whole different, way of doing things. Although those things were hard or they were new to me, my mind was already programmed by my uncle to say, you cannot fail. You need to work harder. You need to do better. So that pressure alone, yes, it was too much, but I had to give it 10 times more. I had to give it my all. I had to give it more. I had to actually study more than even I ever had to. So being foreign comes with a lot of pressure. It comes with you working more harder. It comes with you always wanting to prove yourself. It's always a thing where you want to prove, Kuri, I'm worthy of this, I'm worthy of being here, or I'm worthy of this life, So being foreign, it's very hard, all the pressure and all the hard work. So that's one thing. And also being foreign, you cannot lazy around. You can't just do as you want. You can't just you can't just come and you're gonna do crime, You really have to be upright, because number one, it's not your country. You can't leave your country to come and spoil other people's country. So none of shortcuts in terms of connections, it doesn't work. And mind that when you come to another man's country, you don't have a lot of connections like you have in your own country, right? You come in, very few people. You start a whole family from it. You don't have the family. So in your home country, you can cut lines, do connections, because you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. When you're in a foreign land, you're on your own, no. You can't just be doing anyhow, no maini. If there has to be perfect people in that foreign land, you need to come out among one of those perfect people. So being foreign comes with a lot of pressure as well. Thing of stereotyping. Oh my God. If you are foreign and the whole thing of, the thing of generalization and you don't like it, my darling, be ready to be generalized. I've had to be in places where when I talk, someone will be like, you're not from here. Where are you from? Are you from Nigeria? And you'll be like, oh no, I'm not from Nigeria. They'll be like, oh, Nigerians come here and do drugs. And I'm not saying that Nigerians do not commit crimes or foreigners do not commit crimes. I know everybody commit crimes, because in every group of people, there are the good people and the bad people. There are the hardworking people and there are lazy people, right? Everybody commits crimes, there are a group of people that do wrong things, right? But the whole thing of generalizing, I'm saying, you have to be an upright person. And don't be so mad or don't be so sad that although you're working so hard to be one of the perfect foreigners, and then they just have to come and generalize you in that back of useless people, that back of scumbags. Don't be upset about it. It's just one of the challenges, being stereotyped, being generalized. They'll be like, oh, you're from, or these people like this or whatever. So it is irritating, it is annoying, when people generalize you to the bad aspect of foreigners, and you be like, it's irritating, but there's nothing you can do. If there's anything you can do, pack your things and go back to your country. And lastly, and most importantly, one of the challenges, guys, it will have to be in terms of documentation. Oh, Jesus Christ. Being foreign and documentation, it's not easy. And what's still with the whole COVID-19 pandemic, COVID just made things super horrible for people, because there are a lot of people that the system has not still been able to process their visa, their permits, and all of that. I remember for COVID, the whole COVID period, because offices were closed and shut down, I think most of us were just walking with expired documents, but we had those statements released by Home Affairs to say, okay, no, this is how things are. So whenever you go somewhere, you need to have that expired document and also that communication from Home Affairs to say, okay, no, but yes, my document is expired, but this is what Home Affairs is saying about the situation. So the whole thing of COVID and offices closing and people's payments not being renewed, it was a huge challenge. It was so scary, because sometimes even when I want to go out, I'm like, you would want to go out, then you meet the police, then they start interrogating you, and it was a struggle. But I'm super grateful to God that all of my things are intact right now. thank God for Home Affairs that they managed to develop a system that you can apply online, and and that worked for some of us. So thank you, Home Affairs. But also that's one thing that has also been a challenge, like for me, like I'm saying, because the whole time of COVID and also after COVID, it was really, I think I only managed to get my stuff renewed like September last year, yeah, which everything came alright for me. And even like now, also when I'm thinking of when it's going to expire again, I'm just in so much fear. It's like, oh my God, when this thing expires, how am I gonna do, or how am I gonna leave? Because also like the whole renewal process, it's a new thing. The new laws coming up every day. I think even recently on the radio, the Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Aaron Motsoaledi. I got the name, I think, Mr. Aaron Motsoaledi. He was saying that there's a whole thing of fake marriages, and on the system, I think about 2,000 fake marriages per year. So, I don't know if it's per month or per year that foreigners are marrying, so just to get documents. So there's a whole, and then when you hear those kind of things, now when you become worried, it's like, oh my God, I really hope that when I submit my stuff, I don't get rejected. And also the whole thing of also being rejected. It's not a law that when you submit your documents for renewal, that it will be accepted. Some of them, they get rejected for some like few reasons here and there. Then you need to reapply, which consumes more money for you. Like, it's just like, and also you're living in fear every day, because now when the police stops you, okay, now you've got to explain yourself. If you cannot explain yourself, then you need to bribe. If you cannot bribe, then they can lock you up. Then they need to take out money to bail you. So yeah, the whole documentation, it's a process. It's a huge challenge, I just wish that things could be much easier. But I mean, as much as I've said all of those challenges, I'm not saying it for Peter's sake or whatever. It's just things that I have had to encounter as a foreigner in South Africa. But nonetheless, so far and how far I've come in life, I'm still super grateful to God. I'm super grateful for everything which I have, for everything that I am right now. I mean, despite all these challenges, from all of them, you get to pick different lessons. You get to be a better person. I always say that if something happens to you and you're not able to pick up a lesson from that scenario, then vele we spugu. There is nothing that you're going to change from. Sometimes some things just happen just for a quick awakening, like wake up, realize yourself, and so for all my challenges so far, I'm super grateful to God. For all the friends that I had, I'm still super grateful for them, my family, my friends, just everybody like praying for me, supporting me emotionally. Because with this challenge, it comes with also affecting your mental health, where you need to talk to somebody. Sometimes you need to check in with a therapist, which is still money and all of those things. So yeah, being foreign is not easy, but someone always said to me that God will never give you something that you cannot do, And even, what is the thing? Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So whatever scenario you find yourself in, I don't know what maybe it's a school challenge, it's a health challenge, or whatever, whatever you're going through, God will never give you something which you cannot carry. And if you cannot carry it, be like Jesus, who said, Father, this cup is too heavy for me, but yet not my will but done, let your will be done, because God's will is always made perfect for us. God is always perfect in whatever He gives us. So whatever challenges you're going through, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a way out. And there's a common saying that says, so long as there is a will, there will always be a way. So long as you've got a will to say, I want to get there, there will always be a way. But mind you, there's the good way and there's the bad way. It's always for you to decide and check in with God and say, God, this thing I'm about to do, is it your will? Or so that's it from me to you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's content. Please let me know in the comment section what you think about today's content. Please subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notification, and my darlings, I will see you guys in my next video. Continue to be amazing, wonderful, loving, caring.